Hello and welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Linda McNamee, in for Phil Gallagher. The official language for the ballot question that will be before voters has been released by Town Clerk Amy Warfield's office. We go now to BNews Director Rich Hosford in our Election Center for an explanation of the question and how it came to be on the ballot.
On Saturday, April 6th, during the 2019 town election, Burlington voters will be asked if they think the treasurer tax collector position should be changed from elected to appointed. The ballot question was initially put forward on the suggestion of the Government Review Committee. Members of the committee argued that because the size of the town budget and the complexity of the position has grown since the current treasurer collector, Brian Curtin, was first elected 43 years ago. Because of this, they argue, leaving the position up to the uncertainty of an election could end up with someone unqualified in an important financial position within the town. When Curtin announced he was retiring, a move he has since rescinded for the time being, committee members said they felt it was the right time to propose making the change. The proposal to put the ballot question before town meeting was approved by the Board of Selectmen. Town meeting approved the warrant article last September. The ballot question, however, is not without opposition. For one, Curtin himself says he believes the position should remain elected. Those opposed to making the change from elected to appointed argue that this will cause the position to lose autonomy and independence from the Board of Selectmen, and that it would further consolidate power in one group. We have a full list of arguments from both sides as they appear on the ballot on our website at bcattv.org/bnews. I also spoke to the representative of both sides in more detail for the latest episode of BNews In Depth that you can find on our homepage at bcattv.org. I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford in our Election Center. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Rich, and we will see everyone at the polls on April 6th. Residents in the area of Terrace Hall Avenue, the Vinebrook Aquifer, and Blanchard Road will notice some tree cutting in coming days. According to a letter from the gas company to DPW Director John Sanchez, the cutting is necessary to allow for aerial observation of the gas pipeline that runs through that section of town. Tennessee Gas uses helicopters and small planes to keep an eye on the pipeline, and so needs trees to be removed that obstruct their view from the sky. This patrol program is designed to observe surface conditions along and adjacent to the pipeline for indications of leaks, third-party construction activity, and other factors affecting safety and operation. Overgrowth around the pipeline would prevent the company from seeing what is happening on the ground from the sky. The company added that vegetative growth itself can be damaging to the pipeline. The presence of trees over the pipeline or within the right-of-way can cause physical damage to the pipeline, the letter states. Roots can actually damage the coating on the pipeline, which could jeopardize the integrity of the protective coating. Burlington has received a grant from the Massachusetts Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program to prepare the town for the effects of long climate and short-term weather extremes. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak has more on Burlington's climate change readiness.
Regardless of given opinions on climate change, Massachusetts has established the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Planning Grant, of which Burlington has been a recipient. Town officials and residents attended a community workshop with associates from BSC Group Incorporated to prioritize and create a climate adaptation plan for Burlington.
Well, climate change is here. It's no longer one of these in the future types of issues that we need to deal with. So the state has made a really, really great push to address these challenges that the state is going to face. And the initiative that they've developed, the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, this program is intended to address the issues that the communities are going to face at the local level.
I asked, what's the biggest weather issue for Massachusetts communities?
Sea level rise or climate change.
Most communities are worried about their flooding effects, and the infrastructure associated with flooding is roadways and dams. They have a lot of floodplain storage areas, so there's mitigative effects to protect them against those things, but we have developed quite a bit of infrastructure around wetlands, and so a lot of our infrastructure is subject to the effects of climate change.
The community discussion is the first step in the process.
So the question was, do we have access to... So what we're doing is a stakeholder engagement process where we are drawing upon the institutional knowledge of the community to learn about where there's hazards and where there's categories of vulnerabilities or strengths within the community that we can then apply solutions to solve those challenges.
Stay tuned to BCAT and B News for more on Burlington's Climate Vulnerability Plan. From the Grandview Farm, I'm B News reporter Tad Stefanak. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Tad. Enjoy a meal out and help support the Burlington Senior Center and all the people who use it. During the month of March, Not Your Average Joe's is supporting the Burlington Council on Aging. Every Tuesday in March, Not Your Average Joe's at the Wayside Commons in Burlington will donate 15% of every dine-in and or takeout meal to the Council on Aging. You can either present a flyer available at the Council on Aging at 61 Center Street, or you can let your server know you are with the Council on Aging dining in or picking up an order. The Council on Aging provides outreach to local residents with primary emergency needs such as fuel, food, and prescriptions. They also provide a place for seniors to gather and socialize. The COA also provides a monthly dinner, movies, lectures, performances by singers, magicians, and historical actors, a variety of exercise classes, card games, a monthly memory cafe for those living with memory issues and their care partners, and the annual senior prom. Burlington's newest furniture store has announced it has selected a charitable organization to support. Oak Furnitureland, which opened its first store in the United States in Burlington's Wayside Plaza last month, said in a statement that it has chosen the Room to Dream Foundation as its first U.S. charity partner. Room to Dream works with chronically sick children who are forced to stay in one place for extended periods of time and helps provide them better environments wherever they are, whether it be in their homes, a hospital room, or other facility. The hope is, as they recuperate and recover, their renovated spaces will improve their quality of life, promote strength, imagination, self-worth, and aid in their recovery process. The organization focuses its services on families struggling financially. For each room renovation they purchase new furnishings and supplies that are tailored to the specific needs of the child and their family. In this new partnership, Oak Furnitureland will help Room to Dream volunteer teams recreate bedrooms for 6 chronically ill children and their siblings in the greater Boston area. The Burlington High School Drama Club is set to take the stage and perform a musical with beloved music from the group ABBA. They will be presenting Mamma Mia later this month. B News reporter Robert Paris went to a rehearsal and has this look.
A well-known play that is filled with comedy, romance, and songs for all ages is right around the corner. The Burlington High School Theater Group has been hard at work preparing for their upcoming spring production of Mamma Mia.
This year, the spring musical is Mamma Mia. Yeah, it's based on the music from that band ABBA. It was very popular in the 70s, and the story revolves around using their music in the original story. So,
believe it or not, schools around the country were not allowed to perform any musical related to Mamma Mia until now.
We're really excited. This year is the first year that the show is available for high school, so we're really excited to be one of the first schools in the country to be able to do it. Well, it was on Broadway, and then from there it went to touring, and then it goes to regional theaters and professional theaters, and then the people that own the rights said, okay, we've got all the money we can out of them, now we'll open it up to the high schools to do it. They don't like the high schools to necessarily compete with national Broadway tours, so they try to spread it out that way.
I had a chance to speak with some of the actors and actresses and who they will be portraying in this year's play.
I'm Sam, the principal male. So Sam is the love interest of the main leading female, Donna, and I am one of the fathers, or prospective fathers, of the other lead, Sophie.
I play Sophie. So at the beginning, she's like, she has a wedding, and she doesn't know who her father is, so she looks at her mom's diary and she sees that like the summer that she was born, she had there were 3 men that her mother was with. So she invites those 3 men to her wedding, and then it kind of just all goes downhill from there, trying to figure out who her dad is, and it's just crazy.
My role is Pepper. I'm more of a just supporting character, really. But I'm in a good amount of scenes actually for a supporting character, which is nice.
I am Tanya, who is one of Donna's long-lost best friends. I'm one of the Dynamos, so I'm super excited about this role this year because she's kind of helps drive the story. Donna has a bunch of tough situations, and Tanya and Rosie are really there to just support her and also have a little fun on their own.
My role is Rosie. I basically am one of the 3 friends of the Dynamos.
So I play Donna, I play Sophie's mother, and the general drama surrounds me and my 3 lovers.
I'm Allie.
I'm Lisa, and we're pretty much best friends with Sophie, who's the lead.
Yes.
And I don't know, we come to see her for her wedding because we're the bridesmaids.
Yeah, we come to visit her, it's her wedding, and we go through her mom's diary.
Yeah.
Finally, the cast and crew are working hard to make sure it is an entertaining show for everyone.
Well, this show has a lot of, some people would say it's a lot of fluff, it's a lot of fun energy because there's a lot of dancing, a lot of music that people know, and so as far as taking away any big, deep messages, I don't know. I think it's a lot of, number one, it's about family first and love for your mother and daughter, love for each other, and families aren't always conventional, and I think that's kind of one of the main messages.
From the Fogelberg Auditorium, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Thank you, Robert. Looks like a lot of fun. For tickets, visit burlingtontheater.com or call 781-A-FUN-TICK. The Burlington Board of Selectmen said it is pleased to announce that the Town of Burlington Scholarship Fund applications are now being accepted through April 1st, 2019. To qualify, applicants must be high school seniors graduating in 2019 and attending a college, university, or technical school accredited by their appropriate state Board of Education. Applicants must complete and deliver the application, an essay, and a letter of recommendation from either a high school instructor, counselor, clergy member, professional person, or supervisor. High school transcripts are also required. Applications are available at the Burlington High School Guidance Office or by emailing scholarships@burlington.org. Completed applications can be sent to the Burlington High School Guidance Department or emailed to Mr. Joseph Adebato, BHS Guidance Director at atabato@bpsk12.org. Have you ever felt your mood significantly decline during the winter months? You may be suffering from seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. Last week, the Burlington Public Library hosted Dr. David Michulian of Mass General Hospital for a presentation of how to beat the winter blues. BNews reporter Chris Flaherty spoke to Dr. Michulian on the ins and outs of seasonal affective disorder and how to combat it.
If you ever felt the winter months have had a negative impact on your mood, you are not alone, and there is a scientific explanation. Tuesday, February 26th at the Burlington Library, Dr. David Michulian led a discussion on how to beat the winter blues, covering all there is to know about seasonal affective disorder.
I think a lot of people feel that depression of any type might be a character flaw or a sign of personal weakness, and it's not. It's an illness like any other, like diabetes, like high blood pressure. It's an illness that has a physiologic basis for it, even if we don't understand it very well. And there are psychological factors, stresses, things like that that can contribute to it. So if people have depression, it's not a reason for feeling ashamed. They need to get help from a professional who's qualified to treat it. And that applies to whether it's seasonal depression or whether it's other types of depression.
While research on seasonal affective disorder has increased, there is still much to learn on how it can be treated.
Well, the research on seasonal depression is still relatively young. I think the light therapy has been the most widely studied, and there's also been studies looking at medications, antidepressants, and also other things like exercise, for example. So all of those have been studied, but none of them in great depth in terms of having large samples of patients, which is important to do really convincing and more definitive studies. I consider this a research area that's still in its relative infancy with regard to seasonal depression.
Simple changes in your diet and daily routine can help combat the effects of seasonal affective disorder.
Try to keep active. Go outside even if it's hard to push yourself to go. You're not being asked to do a lot of jogging or weightlifting or anything like that, but simply get out and walk for a little while, even if it's going down to the grocery store to get something. Try to not eat so many carbohydrates. Stick to healthy snacks like fruits, for example, vegetables, carrot sticks, things like that. And try to regulate your sleep as best you can. And that means go to sleep at the same time each night. Try to get up at the same time each morning. Try to relax before you go to bed. Don't do things like read horror novels right before you go to bed because it might make it hard to sleep.
If you're feeling the need to beat the winter blues, visit the library to schedule a session in front of their new light therapy lamp, and stay tuned to BCAT for Dr. Michulin's full presentation. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Thank you, Chris. Burlington High School student artists will join with peers from around the area for a special presentation of their works. The BHS Arts Department is inviting the public to attend the reception for Exhibit 15 at Bedford Town Hall on Monday, March 11th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The work of the students in Burlington High School's Art and Design program was selected for inclusion in the show, along with work from the high schools of Bedford, Lexington, Weston, and Winchester. This exhibit was born out of the desire to have a smaller regional showcase of student work that was free for students, while also bringing neighboring communities together for a celebration of artistic excellence, an invite from BHS Arts Department Chair George Rekovic says. The coordinators of the exhibit wanted to limit the works to only 15 per district, hence the name Exhibit 15. This forces art departments to be very selective with what they are exhibiting, and staff need to communicate, collaborate, and compromise when making decisions as a department. This is the first year the exhibit is being held, and Mr. Rekovic says that he hopes it becomes an annual tradition. The Burlington Education Foundation held their annual trivia night at the Hilton Garden Inn last Friday night, where teams participated in rounds of trivia questions on a variety of subjects. BNews reporter John Valles was there and has this report.
On Friday, March 1st, the Burlington Education Foundation lit up the Hilton Garden Inn once again for their annual trivia night, where teams participated in multiple rounds of questions that tested their knowledge on a wide range of subjects, including history, movies, literature, and geography, among others. BEF's mission is to promote community involvement in public education by carrying donations from businesses and individuals to provide the town's educators a second source of funding, along with various beneficial items for creative and innovative curriculum and enrichment programs. I spoke with BEF's president, Paula Bormeister, about their biggest fundraiser of the year.
What we lacked in power last year, we're making up for energy in this room this year. It is absolutely like a high level of fun, good crowds, and we have lights, which is just absolutely amazing. So it looks all different this year. This year we have already awarded over $20,000 in grant funding. One of our most notable so far is the WEB program at Marshall-Simons. They're introducing a program where they're training 8th grade students to actually act as leaders for the incoming 6th graders.
I also spoke with some of the team captains and members of the school committee about their connection with BEF and the fun of trivia night.
Usually every year the BEF comes before the school committee and they tell us about all the various grants that they give to teachers in the school system. We're always amazed by the contributions that they make to improving classroom instruction, because the grants go directly to the teachers who ask for different funding for specific projects.
We've been supported for the BEF for as long as I've been in Burlington, almost 20 years. They've always been very supportive, and we're so appreciative for their support.
It's a lot of fun. Everyone gets dressed up. There's a lot of laughs, and trivia is probably one of our favorite things to do.
And where can our viewers find more info on the Burlington Education Foundation?
We are very open to members from our community. We ask for membership donations every year of the general public. Any participation in our activities or in our membership program that we send out an email is the way that you can get to know the BEF and help sponsor grant funding in our school system.
From the Hilton Garden Inn, I'm John Vias, and you're watching BNEWS Weekly.
Thank you, John. We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what is happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. And I know what you're probably thinking right now. We are into March, and this winter weather should probably be taking a vacation by now, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's what we're going to be seeing the next couple of days here in the Burlington area. Now, starting our period on Friday, again, look at this. Temperatures are going to be probably about 10 degrees below normal, so this is pretty much what we've been seeing the past few weeks, and looks like it's going to be continuing at least for the next maybe 7 or so days. So if you're looking out for warm weather, it looks like we got a little bit of a ways to go. We're definitely going to be far away from these record highs of 71 that we saw many years ago. So now our record lows, we're actually going to be not too far away from those, unfortunately. So I know we're supposed to be getting towards spring, but winter is really hanging on here in Burlington. As we get towards the end of the period, we're getting into, I can't believe it, the middle of March, and our temperatures at that time of the year should be nudging up into the mid and upper 40s. And looks like we might finally be turning the page back to normal as we head towards the end of the period. And of course, as you notice, the days are getting longer and longer. And actually talking about that, remember when you go to sleep on Saturday night, remember to turn your clocks ahead 1 hour as we're going to be going back into daylight savings time. So the sun is going to be setting much later, and we're going to have some great conditions with that, and that's something to definitely look forward to as we head towards spring. Now let's take a look at what we're going to be expecting for the temperatures and the precip coming up for the next 7 days or so. Now looking at our map here, looks like the Climate Prediction Center is predicting for most of the country above average precipitation. That includes us way up here in the Burlington area and all of New England pretty much, all the way down to Florida and out into the desert Southwest. So, of course, combining that with the type of temperatures we've been seeing recently, that could mean that we have some unsettled weather and still some wintry weather to come on the next few days. As we go ahead and take a look at what we're looking for, the outlook in terms of temperatures, look at this. If you want to go and have summer-like weather and even spring-like weather at all, you have to go way down here into the south, down to southern Georgia and down into Florida if you're looking for above-average temperatures. Pretty much, though, if you were anywhere from California all the way across the plains, back up here into our Burlington area, we are expecting temperatures to be below average again. So unfortunately, spring looks like Punxsutawney Phil wasn't quite so accurate as we thought he was going to be. Now, as we move ahead, let's take a look at what the weather and the temps are going to look like for the next 7 days. Again, starting on Friday, it's going to be fairly pleasant in terms of sunshine and everything, and maybe a mix of clouds, but again, temperatures pretty cool for this time of the year, only in the low to mid 30s. Now, as we get into Saturday, this is definitely going to be the pick of the weekend coming up. We're going to see, again, temperatures well below the average, only topping out in the maybe mid to upper 30s, but again, with some bright sunshine, maybe a few clouds out there, won't be too bad. However, though, as we get into Sunday, we're going to have to be looking at a system that's going to be moving towards our south, and this could bring us the chance of maybe some heavy wet snow, meaning maybe not heavy in terms of accumulations, but heavy if you have to shovel any of it. And again, going to be some very heavy, wet, pasty, concrete-like snow again as we get into late Sunday. Not too much of it. We're looking maybe only on the order of an inch or two here in the Burlington area before it starts to turn over to some rain. And that's going to bring in maybe a little bit milder temperatures as we get into the tail end of Sunday, again up into the mid-40s, more like it should be at this time of the year. And of course, as we get back to work on Monday again, skies are going to clear out. Temperatures are going to stay pretty nice. Temperatures again in the mid-40s. As we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, temps are going to take a little bit of a nosedive again back into the 30s, more like winter around here, in terms of instead of early spring. As we head towards Thursday, we get towards the end of the period. Looks like we're going to bring in that chance for some rain again. Doesn't look like snow at that point. Just again, maybe some wet weather, some scattered showers, maybe steadier rain as we get into next Friday. And temperatures again in the mid 40s. So nothing crazy warm, but nothing too cold. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
We make young champions happen. Yes, it's Friday night at the fight. Billerica Elks, Friday, April 5th, 6 o'clock. 10 championship boxing matches. All night long of boxing, dinner, raffle prizes. You've got the details. Don't let me come and get you. Burlington Rotary Boxing at its best. Come visit the champions.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your community calendar. Come and dance the night away with your friends. On Friday, March 15th, at the Mount Hope Christian School in Burlington, the Girl Scouts of Burlington will be having their 4th annual Girls Pajama Dance Party. Girls in grades kindergarten through 5th are invited for a night of fun with friends. There will also be a variety of activities such as nail painting, crafts, and more. Girls are welcome to wear pajamas. For more information and to register, click on the link at our community calendar website. Celebrate your Irish heritage. On Sunday, March 17th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a day trip to a St. Patrick's Day celebration. Come for a fun day in Lincoln, New Hampshire at the exciting Indian Head Resort. There will also be authentic Irish food, green beer, and live music. Everyone is welcome. The cost per person is $99. For more information and to register, visit burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. Thinking of selling or upgrading your home? On Thursday, March 28th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., the Cadillac Realty Group in Burlington will be having a free class called Success Strategies for Your Next Move. You'll learn strategies that work to maximize the sale price of your current home, how rising interest rates are impacting home sales in 2019, and much more. Everyone is welcome. For more information and to register, visit www.cadillacrealtygroup.com/nextmove. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your community calendar.
Thank you, Maddie, and thank you, Peter. The winter sports season is wrapping up. We go now to BNews sports reporter Joe Viscioni for the latest Red Devils action in this week's BNews Sports Report.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe Viscioni for your weekly sports report. The winter sports season has come to an end for Burlington High sports teams, but it sure was a memorable few months at BHS. The Red Devils had a league champion as the boys hockey team won the Middlesex Freedom Division championship, while both hockey and boys basketball teams reached the playoffs. We have some highlights from the boys hockey Division I quarterfinals. Let's check them out.
On Sunday, March 3rd, the Burlington Red Devils traveled to the Chelmsford Forum in North Billerica to take on the Andover Golden Warriors in the Division I North quarterfinals. Things were not going Burlington's way in the first period, when forward and sophomore Anthony Provite gave the Golden Warriors the lead 1-0. As the second period began, Andover would score another goal made by junior and forward Michael Fenney to increase their lead by 2. Later on, things took a turn for the better for the Red Devils when senior and defenseman Sean Savage would put Burlington up on the scoreboard 2-1. The Red Devils tied the game late in the second with a goal made by senior, forward, and captain Joe Baberi. Now in the third and final period, Andover would take the lead late in the third by a score made by sophomore and forward Sam Murray. It was a tough battle for Burlington, but in the end, they lost 3-2 to the Andover Golden Warriors in the Division I North quarterfinals, which ended their season.
The trip to the state tournament for the boys basketball team was a memorable one and included several huge victories down the stretch of the season. Burlington sophomore Marina Callahan earned her second Middlesex League Freedom Division All-Star for her achievements on the girls' varsity basketball team. BNews sports reporter Robert Paris has more.
Burlington High School sophomore Marina Callahan recently received the Middlesex League Freedom Division All-Star for the second consecutive year.
It's really exciting. I
wasn't really expecting it last year, and then this year I just worked much harder for it to keep my streak going, I guess.
Even though she is a sophomore, Marina has already been given basketball scholarships from colleges.
Yeah, for AAU, I've gotten some college letters already, so that's been pretty exciting, and I hope to get more this summer.
Head coach Pam McKay is very proud of Marina and what she has accomplished on the team.
Definitely just from a coaching perspective, we know that she's a player who affects every aspect of the game. And that's obvious through statistics, but for me, in her second year, after already receiving an All-Star as a freshman, just seeing how she would respond and how she would grow, especially without the abundance of seniors around her this year. So to see her continuing to be dominant in multiple aspects and really just affect the tone and the pace and everything that we do, it's good to see that continue, and we expect it to continue the next 2 years as well.
From Burlington High School, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
On the wrestling mats, Burlington also made plenty of noise. To conclude the season, the Soda Twins continue to win at the prestigious All-State Tournament. Zach Soda and Cam Soda both won 4 out of 5 matches to finish in 3rd place in their respective weights. Burlington finished in 19th place out of 101 teams. And in just a couple of weeks, the spring season will be underway. That's all for your weekly sports report. I'm Joe Viscione, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you, Robert. Another week, another photo to highlight. This week, we have a photo of a reptile making the rounds at a charitable cause for Burlington schools. It was taken by BNews Director Rich Hosford and shows Joy Hosford holding the Burlington Public School Science Center's alligator, Albert, during the Burlington Education Foundation's Trivia Night. Joy and Albert formed a tight bond, evidenced by the fact that he didn't try to bite her. Though, due to the fact that they were on different teams, Albert did not offer any trivia answers on the subject of herpetology. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line, Photo of the Week. Well, that's it for this week's edition of BNews Weekly. I'm Linda McNamee. Have a safe and happy week, and I'll see you around town. Good night.